Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek, and when the Coin Geek's away, the engineer will play, and that's exactly what happened when I went out of town and for a while, and then the next thing I know, 3 or 4 months later, a box shows up from NGC, and there's these coins in it that I don't remember submitting, but that's mostly because they had someone else's handwriting on them, and the engineer was hard at work finding things that he thought maybe we could play with in a submission and maybe do something good with them. So we'll take a look and see just what type of stuff this is. This is, of course, you'll see right away, all one very similar type of coin. And for those of you who are not aficionados in this area, really the mid to late 60s here, you get those coins that went anywhere from the special mint set into the early proof sets, and they were really hard to get really nice cameos on. You see these are straight out of the box. They have that little bit of cardboard floofiness on them still here. You don't want any floof on your coins. So when you get the 1968 and 69 series half dollars, and they're pretty looking, and they have a nice contrast to them. Instead of just looking like a normal uncirculated coin, you can always try to get a better grade, get a Cameo or an Ultra Cameo on the coin, and try to get a really nice grade out of it. And at that point, you can do pretty good, because the coins themselves, usually you can buy just an average coin for whatever, $5, $10, but when you try to get one that's going to be certified with a Cameo on it in high grade, well, then all of a sudden it's a different story. So, thankfully, apparently NGC can tell the difference between me and the engineer, because, these coins, I think, all came back pretty decent. And it has nothing to do with the engineer's ability to pick out coins better than me. That is not what we're talking about here. Not an option, right? So here we go, 1968. Now, one of the things is that your coins can come back Cameo, or, not Cameo at all, but then Ultra Cameo. And one of the main differences on Cameo and Ultra Cameo is you have these details that are black and white, and so you have a frosted area, which will be the devices, which is, when I say devices, you're talking about the actual portrait of Kennedy, plus you're talking about the "In God We Trust," the mint mark, the date. Sometimes those are harder to tell if they're frosted or not, but you want those to look pretty bold. You want those to have the appearance of the color of white on them, to be able to get that Ultra Cameo designation instead of just a Cameo designation. And you need it on both sides of the coin. And so this is the thing that's also kind of tricky, is sometimes you'll get one side that's really lovely, the other side will just look flat. And so this one, dare I say, if you look at the stars, it gives you a really good idea of whether or not you've got some more of that black and white look to it, more of that Ultra Cameo look to it, when you look at the stars on the back of that. So we're going to reveal that after we reveal this. So this one's a little bit different, because mostly you're looking for the Ultra Cameos on those 68s, 69s, those special mint sets back 65, 66, and 67. But the 70s, 71 rather, is the first year where you have the coin, and it is not silver, so it has a very different look to it. They can also be kind of difficult to get an Ultra Cameo on. And of course, the copper nickel coins are not as attractive as the silver coins. The silver coins have a much nicer look to them, generally speaking. So on this coin, they called it a 68 Cameo. So they did not give the Ultra Cameo appearance or designation to this coin. And here we've got a 69 Ultra Cameo. So you have really everything you could ask for in a Kennedy half dollar for that series in this coin here. The coin on the left, obviously, once you get into the 70s, they start having really wonderful Cameo appearances on most of the coins. But on this coin, it looks like it might be just lacking a little bit of contrast. If we look at the contrast on those stars, especially when I get it kind of at this angle where you have not full light, but partial light on the coin to try to distinguish between the Cameos and the Ultra Cameos. So let's go next to this guy here. We got a 69, 1969 that is. And you have another coin that has a really strong appearance to it overall. Those fields should be just impeccable to get to a higher grade. And you got just a little bit of a stain there right below the S. Just a tiny little stain mark on this guy. And really a nice cameo appearance again here on this coin. And let's see, we got a 68 Cameo on this one. So this one did not pan out. The contrast is actually pretty bold. I think one of the things on this coin, on the 69, that especially when you compare it to the 68, there's actually really strong contrast on the devices, the stars and everything else. I think really though it just doesn't quite look as white as this 68 does. You know, it just doesn't have that same pop to it. And there's something to be said about the technical aspect of this, and there's something to be said, of course, about just the eye peel aspect of this to get those 68s. These coins, I believe, were all from a group that came in together, which is very likely. Usually you'll have coins that were packaged together and shipped together. Lots of times if we get an older collection in, you'll see the old mint boxes that'll hold 5 sets at a time, 5 proof sets at a time, that type of thing from that era. This guy here, another 68, came back as 68 Ultra Cameo. So for the most part, these guys here, the 68s, might pay for themselves if they're the Ultra Cameo. The Cameo, probably not so much. The 69 Ultra Cameos, you know, they're kind of all over the place in what they trade at, but they seem to be anywhere from like $100 to $200 range, just kind of depending on the day of the week. But those definitely will pan out as far as being able to be on the positive side of things for us for the cost that involved. But you know, it's not their money, so why would they worry about it, right? Everyone can live vicariously through me. So 1968S, we got here 2 more 68S's and 2 more chances to get that Ultra Cameo look. And just a really lovely group of halves here. This one, we got the 68 Ultra Cameo, and then on this last one here, we got a second 69 Ultra Cameo. So all in all, things panned out, and you know, it's just like working on your batting average, right? You don't need to hit a home run every time, but you need to make contact, and overall, you kind of average things out. And I think that's just kind of a fair way of looking at things. You know, sometimes they come out the way you want them to. Other times, you kind of get a bad bounce, if you will. Maybe that's a different sports analogy and not baseball. But all in all, a really nice group. And once again, when the Coin Geek's away, the engineer will play. So good work, engineer, on this group. And thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Ben, the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.